It's early. That's all I can say. And you say, what do you mean it's early? It's bright outside. But this is Scandinavia. In the summer. At least once a year we are invited to the Hässleholms Military Museum in the southern part of Sweden. The museum consists of several different communities and associations that take care of the collections and vehicles. I used my 105 to help transport my stuff to the entrance. I had to work myself through both armored cars and military tractors to get to the entrance. It was clear that all of the museum's associations had been scrambled for this weekend, more than usual, which seemed very promising. Bergepanther had been assigned to one of the large halls with the M40K as a very suitable backdrop. Unfortunately, this meant that the tank was stationary during the weekend, but if you want to see the M40 running, check out some of my other videos. Martin managed to get his arm stuck in the KV2. It almost looked like he was helping a cow with a delivery.
Ska det bli en liten KV1?
The museum keeps a large collection of static models too. Here we see some made by one of the younger members.
Sen har vi lite mer modern.
One of our German friends, who has quite a collection of Armortech models, had brought a real masterpiece. A Bergepanther in 1:6 scale, incredibly detailed and painted, with a working winch that was said could tow a car. Knowing the weight of an Armortech model in this size, I do not doubt that one bit. I must say I appreciate these models that are not entirely focused on combat. It brings new perspectives and makes the collection feel more complete. Maybe we'll see more logistical units in the future.
Jättefin.
Here we see Martin's KV2 carrying off with Magnus' crawler tractor, stopping at my 105. All three models are in 1:6 scale, despite the size difference between the tractor and the tanks. This is a mark of an Armortech model spinning around its own axle. My own 105 did a similar turn, but strangely left no marks at all. One of our members had just bought this used Armortech Tiger. It's rare that an Armortech model come out on the market here, but occasionally they do. It was all painted and done, and he had a good time driving it around. After some very nice lunch, courtesy of the museum, it was time to get the molds out again. Here we see two Bergepanthers in different scale, roaming the surroundings. Sten fired up his 1:5 scale Stridsvagn 103 or S-Tank. As many of you already know, this model is a technological masterpiece with hydraulic suspension and a real working gas turbine engine. I then took the AMR for a spin. Despite being in 1:4 scale, it's actually smaller than some of the largest 1:6 models. Driving around in the museum hall amongst all the real vehicles is always good fun. I soon got company by Martin and his KV2 and by Jimmy with his half-track in 1:10 scale.
Du styr bort.
Sten also brought his new model, a Leopard 2 A4 from Armortech. It's not quite in its original state anymore, since Sten has upgraded everything from the trackpads to the barrel. A very impressive model. We fooled around a bit with Martin's KB2. Apparently it works part-time as a drag racer. A lot of models were present this weekend. Here we're checking out a Tiger 1 with a hull made of fiberglass belonging to one of our Danish friends. Compared to the Armortech models, this is a simple way of doing it, but it sure works. I do love the yellow sleeve or paint on the gun barrel. After the museum closed and the visitors left, we kicked off the evening with some well-deserved barbecue. During the evening, after some burgers and beers, we got to speak with a gentleman who had worked on the Centurion armored recovery vehicle, the Bärgningsbandvagn 81, or BGBV-81 for short. Here we can see him together with Martin describing how the recovery vehicle could pull more than 100 tons at a so-called triple part. Not much will remain stuck in that situation. I do have a soft spot for the Centurion ARV. They just look so amazing, tall as a house. Since we were eager not to miss an opportunity with someone who got first-hand experience with these machines, we asked him if he could show us around the BGBV-81 that was parked outside the museum. We actually got a full tour of the vehicle where he explained the different aspects of working with this very cool recovery vehicle. The square-shaped hole in the front was originally a mount for the foldable crane. The crane was not used during the later years of active service in Sweden. The square hole was instead used for placing a large wooden beam in to be able to push a broken down vehicle. The crane used to be stored in two pieces on each side of the vehicle, but put together and mounted in the front. The winch cable was routed over the vehicle and up on the crane. This little platform was a late adaptation and was used to hold a vise. What an awesome detail that would be on a model. Another late adaptation was the smoke dischargers. On the early models, the smoke grenades had to be thrown manually. In the rear we find a ground anchor. It was completely mechanical and used the winch cable to be lowered or raised. In its end position, the ground anchor was supported against the rear armored plate of the vehicle. In theory, you could reverse the entire vehicle up on the ground anchor.
Den är inte jättesvår för bandkrängning på. Om du gör en stridsbärgningsmanöver, då gör du så att du kör emot bärgningsobjektet i så hög fart du kan. Gå ner i tvåans växel och sen gör du en centrum i 30 km/h. Då ska vagnen komma så nära så stridsvagnsbesättningen har kopplat 2 stycken boxervajrar som de korskopplar på den här. Och inom 30 sekunder från du har fått runt vagnen så ska ju du börja dra. Och när du svänger runt så hastigt med den här, det är ändå 55 ton. Då bygger du en ganska rejäl jordvall.
Jag känner igen det här från min modell. Det är så roligt.
Exakt vad modell har. En av bärgningsmängden hängde ju ut över sidan för att kolla vallens uppbyggnad och pratade med föraren så man inte gjorde en brandkrängning. Nej, vajrarna var från stridsvagnen. Det ska vara färdigt. Det är ju aldrig så att en bärgningsman skulle nedåt sig till att gå fram till en dyng i vagn. Alltså gräva och koppla i strids... Den jävla som har kört fast. Han får ta ansvaret. Ja, det är grunden. Elastiskt. Det finns ingenting på den här som är förlåtande. Detta är den lilla sprinten. Ja. Du behöver 4 sådana när du ska koppla. Alltså... Det, som sagt var, det finns inget som är förlåtande. Allting här är vast.
Livsfarligt, klämrisk och
otrevligt.
Since my own Centurion, the Stridsvagn 105, was made as only one prototype, I found it interesting to speculate what would have happened if the Centurion recovery vehicles also had been upgraded to remain within the army. Maybe it would have gotten the same diesel engine and automatic transmission as the 104 and the 105 got, but perhaps not the 105's new suspension, but who knows? Having a fleet of upgraded Centurions as a sort of second-line defense vehicle, complete with their own recovery system, doesn't sound that unrealistic, at least in an alternate reality. If so, they would have existed parallel to the armored brigades consisting of Leopard 2s. Well, that's not how it turned out, and it's just my way of playing with the backstory of my 105. Hey guys, Editor Erik here with a public service announcement. If you live in Skåne or close to Hässleholm and think military vehicles are cool, then you are in luck. Hässleholms Military Museum are always open to more people who are interested in maintaining the old vehicles and develop the museum. So if you think that what you see in this video looks cool, don't hesitate to contact Hässleholms Military Museum directly or send me a message over Instagram for more information. Inspired by all the stories from the recovery guy, we decided to take a late evening drive with the models. Martin tried to run over his beer can with the KV2, but the tracks slipped. I gave it a try, and the straight and sharp track links of the Centurion found some grip, but left the can pretty much undamaged. I'm sure though the beer tasted better after being run over by a tank at least. After a good night's sleep, we did the best of the day despite the rain and gloomy weather, which meant a lot of indoor driving. Like I said, I just love taking the models for a spin amongst the real vehicles. A huge thank you to the museum that let us come and play with their stuff. We always have a good time, and this weekend was no exception. We also had a lot of visitors, which was extra fun. Thanks for watching, guys, and a big welcome to all my new followers. I hope you will enjoy your time here. Don't forget to check out my how to build videos if you want to see how I make my models. Take care, see you next time.